This is the question in the past paper 2002. Part A, in the question number 6, part A, right? Four equal rods of weight W are connected together to form a square ABCD, right? Clearly jointed at their ends. But you have four rods of equal mass, with each of weight W, right? Connected together to form a square shaped frame, right? Then how they maintain the shape of the square, right? By applying a light rod joining midpoints of lower rods. But entire frame is hanging from joint A. Now you have to calculate the thrust in the light rods and the reaction at point C. Now you can draw the diagram. Most of the times always light rod has thrust, right? Because always rods provide a force on this at this point, pushing the point, right? So this square shape is maintained by these light rods, because of the light rods. Otherwise, the entire frame is slackening, right? Now, if you look at how do you mark the forces now at the joints? How do you separate the joints and show the forces? But you can say at this point, now why, if you look at this one as these two rods, this one A, B, C, D. That is how these joints. Now if you take BC and CD together, BC and CD as free body, you can correctly mark Y component at B. It's vertically up or vertically down. It should be vertically up, no? Why? What is the reason? Here also vertically up.
W is downwards.
Yeah, only 2W. 2W is downwards. Then 2Y, actually 2Y equals 2W, so Y equals W, right? So you can calculate very easily, right? Then Y at this point is up, downwards. Here also downwards. Now if you look at the moment about point A, if you take moment about point A for AB, right? For AB about A, both W and Y gives clockwise movements, right? Right? In order to settle that clockwise movement, you have to apply anti-clockwise movement. To give anti-clockwise movement, so X should be in this direction at here.
Okay, sir.
Right? Then W sah Y, then clockwise movement. මෙතන අනිත් x එක එන්න ඕනේ anti clockwise movement එකක් දෙන විදිහට. right? එහෙනම් මෙතනත් ඒ විදිහයි symmetric නේ. First of all, tell me, is this symmetric or non-symmetric? It's symmetric, eh? Symmetric. Symmetric under forces and symmetric under diagram about line AC, right? Then this x should be in this direction, like this. Okay. So what is x here? No y component because of the symmetry at this point. It should be x. But if you look at the movement about this point, both this x and y gives clockwise movement. මේ point එක වටා. මෙන්න මේ point එක වටා පුතේ මේ බලන්න. මෙන්න මේ road එක DC road එකට. කඩකවන්න හදන්නේ කොයි පැත්තටද පුතේ? clockwise direction එකට. මේ x and y. එහෙනම් මෙතන anti clockwise වලට කරකැවෙන විදිහට මේ අතට තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒක x1. එහෙනම් මෙතන x1. ඔච්චරයි. මම ලකුණු කෙරේ පුතේ හරියටම හැම එකම පොසිටිව් වෙන විදිහට. හැබැයි එහෙම අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ඔය අපිට කැමති දේ ලකුණු කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම ගියන් පස්සේ පුතේ එතකොට අපිට නෙගටිව් වැලියුස් එනවා. නෙගටිව් වැලියුස් එන්නේ නැති වෙන. කෙලින්ම හරියටම අපි කැල්කියුලේට් කරනකොට පොසිටිව් වැලියුස් වෙන විදිහට තමයි මේ අපි ලකුණු කෙරේ. පැහැදිලි.
හරි.
එහෙම යම්කිසි අපිට ඒක කරදර නම් අපිට ලකුණු කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් අපේ අභිමතයේ පරිදි. එතකොට අන්තිමට ගන්න පුළුවන් අගයන් හොයන්න පුළුවන් සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට. right? එතකොට හැබැයි ඉතින් මෙහෙම ලකුණු කර ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් හොඳයි. අර බලලා දැන් අපි තුන් දැන් මුලින්ම බැලුවනේ මේ y දෙකෙන් ලකුණු කෙරුවේ. ඒ මාර්ගයේම යන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ මේවා හොයනකොට, සොයාගෙන යනකොට. right? දැන් අපිට මේ එක රොඩ් එකකට රිසෝල්ව් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි රිසෝල්ව් කරුත් for vertically for DC. ඔනම් DC and CB දෙකම කන්සිඩර් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්, එකක් කන්සිඩර් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. right? එතකොට CD ගන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ ප්‍රී බොඩි එකක් විදියට, DC ගන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රී බොඩි එකක් විදියට. ගන්න පුළුවන්. මෙතන මේක වෙන් කරත හැකිනේ. වෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඇයි වෙන් කරන්නේ? T මේකෙන් මේ ලයිට් රොඩ් එකෙන් එදෙන බලපෑම විතරයි අපි මෙතනින් ගන්න පුතේ. බලපෑම ලකුණු කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ. තේරෙනවද? එතකොට ලයිට් රොඩ් එක නෑ වගේ හිතලා මෙතනට දු T බලයක් දාලා තියෙන විදිහට හිතට ඇයි. එතකොට මේක සම්පූර්ණ වෙන් කරලා හිතන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ. DC රොඩ් එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වෙන් කරලා හිතන්න පුළුවන්. පැහැදිලිද? right? So pre body එකක් විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා ඕන අතකට රිසෝල්ව් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒකට. So vertical resolve කරුවොත් y minus w equals 0. So y equals w. අපි අර බල ලකුණු කරපු පාත් එකේම යන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ මේවා හොයාගන්න. තේරුණාද? දැන් y දන්න එහෙනම් අපි මෙතන ඊළඟ ලකුණු කෙරුවේ නේද? එහෙනම් අපිට පුළුවන් ඒවට අමුස් ගන්න. ඒවට අමුස් ගන්න for AD. rod AD. එතකොට y වලින් x වලින් කරකවන්නේ anti clockwise, clockwise, y වලින් anti clockwise. y සහ w anti clockwise. So y into 2a අපි rod එක length එක අපි ගමු 2a කියලා. AD equals 2a කියලා ගමු. එතකොට y into 2a sin 45 minus plus w into a sin 45 minus x into 2a cos 45 equals 0. right? එතකොට මෙතන අපි මේ angle එක 45 degree. right? 45 degree this angle. Perpendicular distance from A to Y is this distance. Perpendicular distance for Y, for W is this distance, right? Perpendicular distance for X is this distance, right? From A, right? So A cos sin 45 cos 45 equal, so you can cut like this. A also cancel, so 2I plus W minus 2X equals 0. So X equals 2X equals 2W plus W. X equals 3W by 2. X equals 3W by 2. Okay. Now you know both X and Y. Both X and Y. Then how do you find x1? How do you find, so you can take moments about for A, for AD and DC. You select these two rods together, taking moments about A. AD and DC, if you take together, it's not free body, right? It's not free body. But when you take moments about point A, the forces at A, no contribution from forces at A, right? For this equation. Therefore, you can take moments about A, right? Then these are internal forces. You have only 2W and T and X1. These 2W and T and X1 only. Because this is internal force. When you consider AD and DC together, right? AD and DC together, these forces are internal forces, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now how do you take moments about A? What is the 2W gives anticlockwise movement. 2W anticlockwise. What is the perpendicular distance? Both W forces at same distance from A, right? That is A sin 45 minus T into 3A cos 45. T gives clockwise movement, therefore it is minus 3A cos 45. This length is 2A cos 45, right? This length is A cos 45. Sum of these two, 3A cos 45, right? Then what is, then X gives clockwise movements, plus X1 into 4A cos 45 equals 0, right? Sin 45 cos 45 equals, so it cancel. A also get cancel. 2w minus 3t plus 4x1 equals 0. Right? So you can recheck these terms are correct. You know that when you consider both w terms gives anti-clockwise movement, therefore positive. This t gives clockwise movement, therefore it's negative. x1 gives anti-clockwise movement, it is positive. Right? You can recheck it whether you got it correctly, right? Now 2w. Now you have one equation 3t minus 4x1 equals 2w. Right? This is equation 1. So you need another equation to find t. So you can take moment about d. No, you can you can resolve in this direction for dc. So you can have another equation. Right? Horizontal. So you can consider horizontal forces for dc. Right? That is x plus x1 minus t equals 0. Right? So now you have x1 minus t equals minus x. Minus x. That is minus 3w by 2. Okay. So you multiply by 4. So you want to find, you have to find, in this sum you have to find reaction at C and T. No, you want to find x1 also, right? x1 and T. So you multiply this one by 3. 3x1 minus 3t equals 9w by 2. This is 2. Now if you add these two, you get minus x1 equals 2w minus 1 plus 2 implies x minus x1 minus 2w minus 9w by 2, right, minus 5w by 2. So x1 equals 5w by 2. x1 equals 5w by 2. Now you got the reaction at C. Now you want to find T also. What is T? T equals x1 plus 3w by 2. 5w by 2 plus 3w by 2 equals 4w. T equals 4w. Tension in the thrust in the light rod is 4w. Reaction at C is 5w by 2. Right? So how do you mention the answer? Final answer. Final answer. The thrust in the light rod equals 4w, and reaction at C is horizontal and its magnitude equals 5w by 2. Okay? ඒත් එක නේ පුතේ අහලා තිබ්බේ. එච්චරයි නේද?
Oh, sir.
Several reaction or reaction calculate thrust in the light rod and the reaction at C. Right? That's all. Right. Now we
Also
come
clear.
to part B of the question. Okay? Now this framework consists of 7 rods. A, B, A, E, B, C, C, D, D, B, B, E and E, D. But all rods are shown clearly, but P is applying alone BE, force P. Capital point A is a hinge, right? Pivoted means freely pivoted, freely hinge at A, right? But how they apply force P at E? It is along BE, and also that due to that force, ABC maintain horizontal position. ABC horizontal, right? How they act force P, so that ABC is horizontal, right? First part you have to find P and reaction at A. How do you find P first? So you can take moment about point A. Then you can easily find force P, external force P. Then they ask to find reaction at A. So you can mark reaction in two perpendicular direction at A. Right? By resolving vertically and horizontally, you can find X and Y. Right? Let's see how you can do this. This framework at hinge at A, right? Peel hinge or peel pivoted at A. The P is along BE, right? P maintains horizontal level of ABC, right? Now you have to find P first. If you take moment about point A, you can find P. What is perpendicular distance? This is A, so this is 60 degree, right? What is the perpendicular distance? So this is the perpendicular distance to P. Perpendicular distance to P. That is A sin 60. Sorry, A cos 60, A by 2. A cos 60, this 60, this 30, this one 60. So A by 2, that is A cos 60. P into A cos 60 minus (400) into this distance is A, because this A, this also A, this 45, this angle, this length equals this length, right? So BC also A. So A plus, what is this length? A over root 3, no?
Yes, sir.
A over root 3 equals 0. P equals 800 times 1 plus 1 over root 3. That is root 3 plus 1 over root 3 times 800, that is now you resolve vertically for the entire frame. Y minus y plus both y and p are vertically upwards, no? Actually y should be downwards in order to maintain the equilibrium. P, y should be downwards, no Puti? P upwards, no? Right? Then y, p minus y, p sin 60 minus y equals 0. So y equals p root 3 by 2. That is p root 3 by 2 times root 3 plus 1 over root 3 times 800. That is 1 plus root 3 times 400 Newton. So this is y, this is y. Then how do you calculate x? So you can resolve vertically, horizontally in this direction. You can p cos 60 minus x equals 0. So x equals p by 2. That is p by 2 means 400 times 3 plus root 3 by 3 Newton, right? So this is x. Now you got both x, y and p. So what is the reaction at x, a? Right? X squared plus y squared whole thing square root. Right? There is the magnitude of the reaction. But they ask vertical and horizontal compounds, no? They ask only vertical and horizontal compounds of the reaction at A, right? So that is x and y. Now we found x and y. Now let's see, thereafter you have to draw the stress diagram using Bose notation for the joint C, right? Thereafter you have to find stresses of BC and CD only, right? But P, X and Y are somewhat bulky, bulky values. But we have to find this sum. We have to find a stress diagram only for joint C. Therefore, no matter these values are bulky values, these values are not involved in when you draw the stress diagram, right? So now you just draw the stress diagram for only C. Thereafter you have to find stresses in the rods B, C and CD only, right? You just take A, B, C, that's all. Only you have to draw triangle because C joint C, you have only 3 forces. So therefore you can, stress diagram is a triangle, right? What is the name of the 400 Newton? AB or BC? Simple, in simple letters? AB, no? Right? AB. So if you follow the clockwise convention, right? If you follow the clockwise convention, so 400 is downwards force. AC 400, AB, sorry. BC is a line like this, making 45-degree angle, like this. AC is horizontal. So this is a stress diagram for required stress diagram. Okay? Only triangle. Now if you read CA, CA is this direction, CA. So the rod CB, read as CA. If you follow the right anti-clockwise convention, CA, not AC. CA is this direction, so you have to mark like this. So it is a thrust or tension. What is this? Thrust or tension?
Thrust.
Thrust, yes. Thrust. BC at BC, point C. BC. BC is upwards. This one thrust or tension. Tension. This D is pulled by this rod. That means then this rod has a tension, right? Tension. That this 45-degree, this one 45, this also 45. So AB equals 400, therefore this also 400. This one 400, root 2. So rod BC, CD, stress, magnitude. Stress, BC, thrust, CD, tension. What is the magnitude? BC is AC. AC is 400 Newton. CD, tension, that is 400 root 2 Newton. That's all. Okay. So it's a very simple sum. Huh? So here you have to
Xn is
correct
P by 2.
y. Resolved in y is wrong today. You have not taken 400 Newton. When you resolve vertically upwards, there is another force minus 400. Minus 400. Then y equals p root t by 2 minus 400. Right? Then there's a value minus 400. Then finally you get 400 root 3 Newton. Right? You have to correct it, right? Correct that value, because you have to when you consider vertically, if you vertically resolve for the entire framework, you should get this 400 also, right? P sine 60 minus 400 minus y equals 0, right? So you have to correct that term. There is no effect for the stress diagram, because we drew the stress diagram only for joint C, right? That does not
So then
affect this value of y.
so the unequal